and then you can share the screen in just a bit.
Recording's on.
Cool. All righty. So, hi everybody. My name is Marco Torres. I am one of the integration specialists here at PSJA, and with me today, I have Miss Debbie Pingle and I have Mr. Valentin Guerra. We are part of the instructional technology team here at PSJA, and so what our goal for today is to share some of the tools and strategies that middle school teachers or secondary teachers use and they do in the classroom, and so that we can spread a little bit more awareness of educational technology in the classroom and the benefits that come with using this ed tech. So what the premise of this is, what's going to happen is we're going to have 3 educators that have 10 to 15 minutes each. They're going to show us the tech tools that they use in the classroom and what it looks like. And so without further ado, let's get this started. A couple of housekeeping rules. Please keep your mic muted unless you're the one presenting. Please feel free to type in the questions in the chat section so that me or one of my colleagues will ask the presenter. If you haven't registered for the PD system, please do so. We have the session ID there. I believe Debbie already put it in the chat, and then the remote check-in code is PSJA Tech in the PD system. So our very first presenter for our middle school Unmute and Recharge is going to be Miss Rodriguez, who is from the math department. She is from Alamo Middle School, and she will be presenting on Wordwall. So without further ado, let me stop presenting. You can share your screen whenever you're ready, Miss Rodriguez, and go for it.
Well, good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for joining us. I'm so excited about this because I learned about Wordwall last year, and I wanted to do Flipgrid, but I got, they beat me to the punch, but it's okay. I'm going to go ahead and start presenting. I'm going to share my screen, and can you all see the slide?
Yes.
Yes. Awesome. So now I'm going to share Wordwall, and this is it's a website. It creates interactive activities along with printables. What I love about this is that you could switch the templates. You could edit the activity as many times as you want. You could share with other teachers. You could embed other websites to it, and you could, again, students, you could assign it to the students. So when I first got introduced to this, I was so excited, and then the more I'm working with it, the more I love it. These are just a couple of pictures in my classroom. Again, my pictures are a little bit dark. I have my room dark, but I do print out some stuff where they have to work together with the word walls, and also I do assign online activity. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to jump in and create an account. So like I tell my kids, I just go to Google, guys. I go to Google and I put in the word, and I literally put in Wordwall. It's going to be the first thing that popped up. Now, for this purpose, I signed out of my account, and I'm actually going to sign in with my personal. I'm not going to do the Google because it's going to take me to my already made account, and I don't want that. So I'm going to go ahead and go and type in would be nice if I knew how to type, my email, my home email, and I'm going to easily create a password, confirm my password, and of course, accept the terms and sign up. So you're going to come to a screen that looks like this. Now, before I begin anything, I'm going to go up to where it says features. And basically, you have all of this available activities, printouts, themes, literally right there. But I'm going to go up to upgrade, because here's the thing. It is a free basic account, and you only get to create 5 of these. And I'm a cheap. I like free stuff. And you might be thinking, oh my gosh, I only get to create 5 activities. Trust me, you could do so much with 5 activities. I have not, I've had this for a year. I have not needed to move up to standard or the pro, and I'm going to show you how and why. So I'm going to come back to my home screen and I'm going to create my, it's going, you're right here, and I'm going to go to where it says create activity. So once I click on create activity, it's going to have a whole list of free activities. Then in the bottom, these are, if you could see, they're shaded out. These are the ones you pay for, but you don't need this. If you notice, there's so many activities here. Now, what I like about this is that I do math, so I do assignments on my vocabulary math words, but I also do assignments on math. So for example, I'm going to pick any of these and I'm going to go ahead and I'm very generic in the beginning. I like to do the sorting, and it's very easy. My kids have been learning right now about integers and rational numbers and whole numbers. And basically, I'm going to come here and I'm going to click this and I'm going to put integer. Done. Then I'm going to come here instead of group 2. I'm going to go ahead and put whole number. Whole numbers. Done. Say, for instance, I want another group. I'm going to add in another group, and I'm going to call this rational numbers. Now, again, I do this also with vocabulary words. Done. Now I'm going to go in and I'm going to create, well, kind of the answer key. Well, you know, -10, 5. I'm going to put here 1/2. Add a new item. Notice how I'm just going around. -12. Another whole number, 88. I'm going to do this kind of fast. And I'm going to put here 12%. So I created a small activity. If you see here, I'm going to be done. You could add in as much as you want. And I do. Later on, I go in and I switch it around. Now, right away, I'm going to press start. And so the student is going to drag. And now with our new star, you know, with the drag and drop, this really encourages that whole numbers. Notice what I'm doing. Quick activity. Submit the answers. And I hope I got it right. And I did. Easy. Awesome. Loved it. My student's going to get bored of that. Guess what? I'm going to go ahead and change the same activity. Same concept, different outcome. Pop a balloon. And if you notice, it's more game-like. So here the train's going to come. It's going to say whole numbers, and they need to click on the whole number. It didn't land. It fell. It looks more like a game. I have my students do this in groups. I want to do a quiz show on this. Again, I'm going to go ahead and quiz show. There it is. Get ready. Number 5, what is it? I'm going to count this wrong, and it's going to tell me it's wrong. Oh, do you see that? So if you notice, it's one activity. So this is how you get away with the basic free one. One activity, but you get to change it up. And what I love about this is you get to share it. Here's the shared button. And another thing I love about this is I'm going to go ahead and go back to my home real quick so we could see my activities. I have my activity here. I'm going to come to my 3 dots, and it has all of this: share, set assignment, edit. I'm going to come back to edit. Guess what? I'm going to change this whole activity. I'm going to change it to something else. I'm going to change it to my vocabulary. What is an integer? What is, so this is how you get away with not going to the pro and or going to the standards and paying. You could use those same 5 activities and switch it up. Okay, so another thing you could do is you could print. So I'm going to press done again. I don't want to go over my time. I do apologize if I do. So right here, and there's different themes. If you see here, I forgot to go through the themes. There's different themes, more excitement. The kids really get into these games. Okay. So if you notice, there's a timer, leaderboards, everything you need for the students. Is there any questions so far? I know I'm going kind of fast, and I want to honor everybody's time. No questions that I see. Awesome. Okay, so another thing what I like about this is, like I said, that they could be printed. So if you come here and if you see all of these, you're still going to come to the share. Okay, oh, you see, there we go. We're getting sidetracked here. You're going to title it and you're going to publish it. I haven't given it a title. I'm just going to put real number system. And then I'm going to put published. If you notice, I love this. It could go straight into your Google Classroom. It could be embedded right there into Google Classroom. You could copy the link and you're done. So I think I love Wordwall. Now notice I did not do the vocabulary part. You can do the vocabulary part. There's so many activities where you go ahead, and I love to use this for my math vocabulary words, my unit 1, my unit 2 vocabulary words. And every couple of weeks, I go back into the same activities, and then I just change my words around, or I'll add more words. Is there any other questions? Because I think I'm going past my time, right, sir? Yes.
You were pretty much right on time.
Okay, awesome.
I don't see questions, but I see a lot of great comments about having students. Mr. Ortiz likes it because students get to create their own games.
Yeah.
A lot of people saying that they're going to share the resource, and a lot of thank you for sharing. So that is awesome. I
The more
appreciate it.
I'm about this, I love it even more. Again, I'm very cheap. Do the free stuff, guys. Do the free stuff. And thank you, sir.
Yeah, I like that. Thank you so much. Thank you very much, Ms. Rodriguez, for that sharing that information. Because again, I've heard about Wordwall, but I knew that there was a paid version. I just didn't know what the differences were. But I like the way that you explained it. That you turn it into you have different ways of using it so that you can stay on the standardized version of it. I like how it's very gamified. So they have like a leaderboard and you can share the resource. And so a lot of good stuff all around. So if you all have any questions for Ms. Rodriguez, feel free to put them in the chat. And then I'm sure that during the presentation, she'll be able to kind of give you a little bit more information about how Wordwall works. And probably, she's a great resource for that EdTech app. So thank you again very much. So
I will also put my email in the chat, and if you reach out, I'll answer any questions. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So we will go into our second presenter of our Unmute and Recharge, the first ever secondary Unmute and Recharge. So our second presenter is Miss Yomara Garcia. She is a science teacher from LBJ Middle School. And she's going to go over a couple of things that deal with also new test item types, such as drag and drop, click and pull, delete and reveal, breakout rooms, and hotspot. So without further ado, let me give you control, Miss Yomara Garcia, and feel free to share your screen and let us know what you have for us for today. Oh, you're muted right now, Miss Garcia.
Yes, I got it.
Okay.
There you go. Hi, my name is Yomara Garcia. I am the department head at LBJ for science. I have been teaching for 31 years, so this was not easy when we decided to go on virtual. But, you know, we stayed up till 3 o'clock in the morning almost every night, let's be honest. And we finally figured out what we were doing. I'm trying to get share. Here we go. Let's see if this works out. I do not really know. Teams.
You can hit the share, which is on the top right corner.
Yeah,
and then
share. I'm trying
you
to.
you can do your entire screen.
My entire screen. Okay, that's not what I had. Hold on. Let's go back. Sorry, guys.
It's okay.
Let me go to share again and do entire screen. Okay. And let's go ahead and close that out. And I am going to go back to, how do I move this? Because it's in my way. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Can you all see?
Yes.
You also be seeing breakout rooms. Of course, we don't do breakout rooms anymore. We still have done them with our groups. This is not it. Oh my goodness, here it is. All right, can you all see it now? It should say science benchmark 2.
Yes, we see it.
Sorry, guys. Literally all day. Here we go.
That's okay. We understand.
Oh my goodness, it's been a day. All right, so the STAR design question, creating interactive slides. We started with drag and drops because, I mean, this is how we first started. And I really don't like to use the slides because now you can't see what I'm doing. Let me go back to full exit the slideshow. When we first started, we started off with, you know, something like this, and it was just pretty sad. And we were just, you know, dragging and dropping and putting them where we thought they were. And as we got on, we kept getting a little better and better. The thing is that the new STAR design questions are going to be with drag and drops. So something as simple as a T-chart to a Venn diagram, even bubble. We have started creating little things that you can use to drag and drop. Also, what they've done is with vocabulary checks. And this is really easy, and it's very simple for the kids to find out what they think it is, like full, like, again, this is moon phases, and if you don't know science, it's okay, but full in luminosity means that it's a full moon, right? And so they're just, you know, when we were also online, we found that it was easier. So then we'll turn this into a Google form, and they can put it, you know, A, B, C, D, and they'll put B is 5 and C is, you know, whatever the number is. And then it's easier for us to check. But the drag and drop has been a thing that the kids have been pretty good at, to where we even use these on our supplemental aids. Dim is all the way to the bottom. The cooler it is, the more to the left it is, right? And so we use our supplemental aids to also do these pictures. More drag and drops. We also did drag and drops for vocabulary words. And then we started using them to annotate our readings. So we have a reading that they need to do on lunar phases. We need them to circle all of the phases of the moon. So they go around, and so like, and so is not, but gibbous is, new moon is. And you can see some of them are, what's the word? In italicized, some of them aren't, like new moon isn't. So they have to find them, but they're still using the drag and drop system. Also, you know, you can do them with lines, you can do them with squares, because we tend to do circle a keyword, underline a phrase that means something to you, and, you know, square off a sentence that it defines something, right? Let me get to, we also started doing drag and drops with things to help them remember stuff. Like there's something called a spring sorry, something called a spring tide, right? And so it's when it's all in line. So we used a spring, and so that they could see it, it's all in line. It's a spring tide. Neap was 90, so it's a 90-degree angle, right? And so we use those things not just for the the naming of it. I think third quarter's down here actually, but also for them to use to help them figure out what it is. So drag and drops have been a really good thing, whereas they can use them as ending a sentence or starting a sentence too. Moon phases, this has been very successful for us. And I know that my math teacher is also using this when they're having to do something with T-charts with the regular and irregular numbers or something. I do not know math, but I do know that she uses a lot of drag and drops because of the fact, even something as simple as making them use these circles, just because when they do test, they have to know how to do this. A check mark where all the check marks, you know, you drag and drop. And like I said, I could go on and on. But finishing a sentence, I have a lot of them, sorry. But we also had some other things that we also helped for quick entry and exit tickets, like click and pulls, which is where you give them the words and they click and pull. So you click on the arrow, and this is not the definition, I'm just showing you. You click and you pull it to the definition. You know, something as easy as that, and that's what it would look like. Again, you could always go back and put it on a Google form if you wanted to make it easier to grade, and put the word topographic map, and they would say topographic map would be would be E, right? And so that way they did the work, but they also get to do it to where it's easier for you to grade, because the Google form, you know, it grades it for you. Again, click and pulls are something that we use a lot for reviewing. Delete and reveal is what we came up with for the hotspots. This new design hotspot, there wasn't very many platforms when we first heard about it last year. And so last year to this summer, we were using something called delete and reveal. And so we started off with words that they should have known. They learned this in 7th grade. I'm an 8th grade teacher. So we would tell them, well, what do you think goes there? You know, there was actually one on top of brain. So what is the nucleus is known for to be and the kids would be like brain, and so they would click and would reveal. So that's what all it is clicking and reveal. The mitochondria, what is the mitochondria? It's and they would say the powerhouse, and yes, they're right. And so it's just getting them into a hotspot, because let me get to the hotspot. Nope, not doing breakout rooms, sorry guys. The hotspots were something that we couldn't really be accessed. There's not very many platforms that you can use right now. One of them is Edcite, and I will show you that in just a second, but I did want to show you what you could do. For instance, you can click somewhere and they highlight it. For instance, let me show you here. You know, this was black, sorry. So the kids know by now, we've taught them how to make circles and squares or text boxes. And so what we would tell them is what is the answer? And there's 4 answers that they can choose. And let's say that one was the answer. They would come back and they would click and highlight it to the yellow color, right? So that way they could see that this is the answer, because we didn't have a way to replicate what the hotspots was. And so now, because this is what the star item looks like, select the correct answers, right? So it says 2 fronts are moving through United States. What will be the next 2 cities on the map that experiences cold temperature in fronts if the front continues to move? So you had to, and again, this is a snippet of the test, the pilot questions that they sent us. And so when you clicked on it, Louisiana was one of the answers. I can't because it's a snippet, right? But you would click on St. Louis and it would turn bright yellow. So since we couldn't come up with something like that, that's what we did with this. we would tell them to click wherever you think the answer is, and you would change it to the green color, right? For instance, from the black to the green, whatever the answer was. Now we have some platforms, and again, this is for everything. I don't know exactly how they're using it in math and social studies, but I do know that they do have the exact same hotspots that we do. Excuse me. And so the other thing was also choosing more than one answer. You could select, multi-select answers. And so again, we don't have very many platforms. Google Form, you can do check all the correct answers. So that is kind of the thing, but it's not the same. So we were having difficulty, like I said, we were having difficulty to get that done. There's something called Edcite. It's a brand new, it's a platform that science, middle school science, social studies, and social studies, if I'm not mistaken, and math, but math and science are using this. And I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can start this test. So you can see it starts off like a regular question test. It also reads it for them, which is very important because we have a lot of kids that 504s or dyslexia or even our SPEDs that need it read to them. But I am going to take you all the way to number 11. Wait, maybe not. I forgot what number it was. Here you have a text to entry. So where they actually had to enter the number, reminding them that they don't use letters when you do math. Now, if it's text to entry and words, we did tell them that they had to spell them correctly because as of now, hasn't been clarified. Let me find, this is a multi-select one, a multi-part to the same question. I think this was the wrong, and here's a drag and drop that they did. So it's most massive to least massive. So I would put the one that has the most to the least, and I would put it in order. This is actually mine, so of course it's already the right answers, but you can move, you can see how I can move it. It won't let me because this is the, oh yes it will. And so you move it to where you have the most massive, which would be the nucleus, to the least, which would be electron. That's a drag and drop. Something as simple as that. Now, we were talking the other day, some of the science teachers with some reading teachers, and said they weren't sure if they were having hotspots, how would it look? And this is what I had showed them. And that's why this one was up. There's another one. Let me see if I can get to it. Let me go back. Let me go back. Oh. Let's see if I can get into it. Oh, and it's really cool because it shows you as they do it, and it shows you live how they get in and what they do, and it's actually pretty cool. Let me see if I can take this test. It will not show me my assignments. Oh no. Not that. Let's see if it shows me this one. Okay, so I'm just going to go to the multi-select so that you can see it. Of course, I need to move you out of the way. Sorry, guys. I want to preview it. Where is it? My goodness. Here it is. Student view. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the last one. Again, it starts off like A, B, C, D answers, like regular questions. And I'm going to go to question number 9. On question number 9 was a drag and drop. They were supposed to put where the valence electron was, where the shell was, this is the shell, where the proton, and see that it actually makes more. That was something that we decided to do because some of them do, some of them don't. So we needed the kids to know that it could do that. And so this has been the best platform so far. Supposedly, I want to say TFAR is going to be ready for us to start testing, but if not, this is the best way that we have found for the kids to practice. And like we were talking about earlier about the multi-select, this one is talking about the magnesium bore model below. You have to push start. It gives you the first question and it asks them for the mass. They have to click, which is a hotspot. Select the area of the model that represents the majority of the mass. And so they would need to click there. It's answered, as you can see on the right up here. Then the second question came up as soon as I answered, which says, what model represents the identity, which would be the proton? So I'm going to click there. It answered and gave me the third. We took this with the kids, and this was the #1 missed problems because they were not used to doing this. The second test did a little better. The third test we're hoping will be better. We're going to take that tomorrow. But ultimately, if you're practicing with these other things like the drag and drops and you're doing click and pulls and you just get the kids used to computers, those won't be an issue for your kids. And like I said, the first time they took the test, it was horrible. But we took it as a teaching moment and we showed them, let them take it, then take it with them. So that way they could see that, oh, when I clicked, it changed the question. I don't know if anybody's asking questions because I can't see. But does anybody have any questions right now?
So far, there were no questions, just a lot of good feedback about liking the dragon pool and the highlighting spots, and also just about liking Edcite. I was going to ask you, Ms. Garcia, if you can, maybe here in the chat, if you can give us any of the resources that might help teachers with doing things like the on Google Slides, like the drag and drop, and you did the click and pull, and
Delete and reveal on spot. Yeah.
Yeah, like any
I
videos, anything like that.
I don't have videos. I can send you this, but I don't know if that'll help you, but I can show you real quick because I actually have this. Let me see.
Sorry, I had requested control, but you can didn't decline it.
I didn't get that. Did I? Okay. So let me see.
Maybe not.
Can you send a link, the presentation? So yes, I am going to send you a link. Of course, it makes it easier if this thing wasn't here. Why is this here? Anyways, let me just show you something really quick. This is a presentation that I've done with my teachers here at LBJ, and I actually did it for the first the one that we did for the district.
The technology conference or the secondary
Yeah.
best practices?
Not this year. Well, I did it for best practices. I did something else, but for the technology one, I did it not this year, but the year before. So this is all like a bunch of things put together. So I don't mind sending it to you, but on the last one, my teachers were asking me, how do you keep it from moving? And because mine move all the time. See, I've already made this a non-movement. Let's see if I have one. I should have one. Oh, you know what? I do have one. I have this one that is movable. Okay, so one of the things that you need to do is, I'm just gonna move them all out of the way. What these are all the little drag and drop things that I took pictures of and did screenshots. If you do screenshots of it, you can't click in there and change the word bright. So you always want to make sure that you get a screen, I don't even know what this is called. Let's see if you see it. The snippet tool, yes.
Yeah.
And don't use the new one. The new one's kind of hard to actually do it because you can get either or. Use the older one because then it just cuts that and that's it. You don't have to worry about the shape and all that stuff. This will just, you do it, and that way the kids can't change the word bright, right? That's one thing. Now, let me just grab all these and get them out of the way. I'm going to get them out of the way because those are the things that I'm going to use to drag and drop, right? Let me get these two out of the way. Okay, so this doesn't move because it's already there, but this one can move. This one can also be typed on. Bad teacher. And so can this arrow. right? And so can my little son. So we're gonna move my son because we are gonna need that later. But what you do is, can you see my whole screen? Can you see me at file? Can you
Yes.
see, clicking on file? You go to file, you go to download. When you get to download, put PNG, click on that. It will download it, and sometimes it comes up here, sometimes it comes to the bottom. It just depends. If it comes to the bottom, it's super easy. All you do is click and say change background, choose background, and then if it comes to the bottom, which is on the Google, but if you're still on Edge, now you have to go into downloads, which obviously I'm already there because I was kind of cleaning that up, and you push open. And it makes a background that is not removable. What you're gonna do is you're gonna take, well, let me do it like this. You see this one was the one that we can move? That one you're just gonna delete, and now you have one that doesn't move. And delete it, and now it doesn't move. And so that way, the only things you're moving are the drag and drops that you wanted to do. Let me go over to this side, grab these. Grab these. And grab this one. Oh, this one's too high, right? And so that way it doesn't, that's the biggest mistake. And even with the arrows that I was showing you earlier on the click and pulls, the same thing needs to be done to the background. Because if not, if you can see how I can move this background all over the place, if you do that, the kids are going to have it all over the place. So what you do is, let me see if I can just put her back to there, and she doesn't even belong there. And put this one back, and you do the exact same thing that we did with the other one. Now, because we have this in the background, I'm going to move it out of the way. I'm going to grab all the arrows. Oops, I'm going to grab all the arrows. I'm going to move the arrows off to the side, put the slide back, and then do the same thing. Go to File, Download, PNG, then click on the page, change background, choose image, browse to downloads, which I'm there, click on it, open it, done, click on it, delete it, and now you have something that can't move. You put the arrows back. Sorry, I have kids in here doing tutoring. That's why they're being a little loud. And then it makes it easier for them to click. And the first thing you tell them, you click on the front part and pull it. If you don't want it, you can always go back or do it again, click on the cross and put it back. But I will share this. I'm gonna have to share it after I let go of control because the control is on top and I can't get it out of the way to get to it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Ms. Garcia. We really appreciate it. That was really awesome. I had not seen that done on Google Slides before, and that's the first time that I've actually seen the most in-depth for Edcite. So those are really good tools and really good resources, especially for the new test types. So that
I
is
hope
really
I didn't take
awesome.
too long. I'm sorry. I was just like,
And
didn't
yeah,
realize.
I mean, if you don't mind, like either whenever you have any resources of anything, websites, anything you want to share, or maybe just your emails, if a teacher has a question, that would be awesome. And so we really appreciate you sharing all of that awesome insight that was, a lot of it was new to me. So thank you so much, Ms. Garcia. If anybody has any, oh yeah, go for it.
Share it right now, my Google Slides, but don't, it's got a bunch of different things at the bottom. It's because I've used the same slides over and over again. So yeah, I'll send them to you right now.
Gotcha. Thank you so much. And if anybody has any questions for Ms. Garcia, you can go ahead and type them in the chat. And while we're on our final presentation, she can go ahead and answer them for you. So again, thank you so much for that presentation, Ms. Garcia. We're going to go ahead and go into our last presenter for today. So our last presenter is going to be Miss Brittany Cortez. She is another teacher from Alamo Middle School, also in math. And today she's going to go over Flip, which, in case any of y'all are not familiar with Flip, it used to be called Flipgrid, and it is a great recording tool. It is a good tool for everybody. It's a really good tool for our emerging bilinguals. And so, without further ado, I will let you take control. Or
Thank you.
Ms. Cortez.
You're able to see my presentation?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Well, my name is Brittany Cortez. This is actually my third year teaching. So I love watching presentations from veteran teachers. I learn a lot from them too. Beatrice Rodriguez is my partner. So I already know everything she does. She's awesome. I'm a 6th grade math teacher. I'm also a team leader in my grade level at Alamo Middle School. Like you were saying, I'm introducing Flip, which was Flipgrid, but they changed it and they're adding new cool stuff to it. I'm not going to go too deep into that because I could talk about that forever, but I'm going to be really, really quick. So Flip is more than 7 billion videos created or shared on Flip in 190 countries around the world. So it's international. It's amazing. It's a fun way to allow practice in writing, listening, speaking, and reading, which is really important for Telpas. Can create interactive bulletin boards using mixtapes and QR codes. You can create an assignment on Flip for any subject, any topic, even electives. It literally could be like any class. And it can be integrated using Nearpod, which I know the district has for us in the curriculum. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into a literal assignment that I did with my kids. I gave them the real number system. Beatrice and I, like I said, we're partners, so we teach the same thing. This was an activity we did. They had to come up with examples. I differentiated by giving some of my students kind of an outline in their writing. I know at our school, we're heavily focused on our writing with our kids and getting them practicing writing, even in math. So the way I incorporated Flip into this assignment is, here we go. So they did their assignment and I gave them a prompt and they used that prompt to write a paragraph. And for some of my kids, they used that outline to make their paragraph. For some of the kids, they were able to do it without the outline, just depended on the group that I had. Using Flip, they recorded themselves reading their writing. So the cool thing is, your bulletin boards, you can hang up your students' work that they create, and then you can add the QR code of the video of them reading their writing and explaining their work right there with their assignment. So it becomes an interactive bulletin board. This is just one example. Like I said, this could be for any topic, any content. So these are the simple steps on how to do exactly what I did here. Add a writing prompt to any assignment. You create a Flip topic and post it to Google Classroom. You have the students read and create their Flip, just of them reading their writing. And then you either generate a mixtape, which I'll get into, or you can generate a QR code for each student, which is what I did here in this bulletin board. So I'm going to show you what it looks like for a mixtape real quick. So when you create a mixtape, can you see my ice cream for ice cream? Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Basically, if I didn't want to generate a QR code for each of my kids, I can make one big QR code that has kind of a compilation of all the videos. So this is an example. I'll just play like 30 seconds. It'll be brief.
Let me tell you how to clarify version of numbers into the Venn diagram. First, I chose 3, now I chose numbers. I chose 3, 15, 11 because they won't talk.
Let me show you how to classify rational whole numbers onto the Venn diagram.
Okay, so I won't go into all the videos, but I kind of wanted to show you this compilation. It's a mix of populations, my EL students, special education population, students who get resource, my gifted and talented, college prep. It's a mix. I mix the mixtape with all my kids. And you can print this one QR code, this one code, And if an administrator walks by your bulletin board, scans that one QR code, they can see all the videos of all the kids that you have on this mixtape. And it plays kind of like a little playlist, all the students reading their writing. Some students are really shy, usually in the beginning of the year. So they like Jacob, he covered his face. Some students don't care and they'll totally read and they don't mind. Some students will add backgrounds, little emojis. It's so creative. They can get creative with it. Even students that have a hard time wanting to do assignments, this is a really easy way to get them a little bit more engaged. And it gets all students to practice reading, their writing, their speaking, and their listening. Once this is still the beginning of the year and they're 6th grade, once they get used to doing this with me, then I'll make them reply to other videos and teaching them kind of like discussion board style, how to reply to videos and how to be like academically appropriate when responding to videos, which is preparing them for college, more reading, more writing. This is what it looks like, not in the mixtape, like for the teacher. This is what I see. I see all their responses. And then I can export. This is how I would do an individual QR code for each child. It has their name for them. And I would just print it and attach it to the work. That's basically the gist of how I use Flipgrid in the classroom. I try to do one maybe every other week with the kids, and they enjoy doing it. And that's about it. If nobody has any questions.
Does anybody have any questions on Flip? I don't see any questions, but I really do like Flip, and our department has gotten very familiar with Flip within the last few months since over the summer, and they've made a lot of changes. And the cool thing that Ms. Cortez was saying is it gets even the shyest kids to do presentations. So if they want to do an avatar over their face, if they want to do just audio, if y'all don't know, you can even limit the amount of tools to give them. So if you don't want them to go all out and put songs and all kinds of flair, you can limit what you want to give the students. And so that's another option too. It's a really great tool, and I really like it. And so looks like so do the viewers here. So thank you all so much. What we're going to do right now is we are going to give away 2 door prizes for people other than our presenters. For our presenters, thank you so much for your time. I'm going to go ahead and put something together, and I'm going to go out to your campus and get you all that. But we are going to give away 2 door prizes for those who have gone into our PD system and checked in with PSJA Tech. So we have about, yeah, go for it.
I just want to make sure I went ahead and put the slides in. You've got the slides.
Yes.
Okay.
And the slides are here from Miss Garcia in case anybody needs it. And I appreciate it, Miss Garcia, and so does everyone else. Thank you for providing the slides to those resources of yours. So if you are ready, Debbie, let me know, and we're going to go ahead and pick a couple of winners for door prizes.
I am ready. Oh, wait, I just forgot to share. Hang on, I'm going to stop presenting so I can share the sound, because we do want to hear that claw working. I know you're all excited. Good luck. We had 8 people sign in. So we are going to go ahead and we are going to move the claw. Where'd my claw go? Oh, right here. No. Where did it go?
Is it start number picker, the one on the bottom right? I think it is.
Where was it, Marco? Hang on.
Yeah, just.
I had it.
Go back to where you were.
It was all set up and ready to go. Here it is.
There you go.
But I have to set up the number.
Yeah. Oh yeah, go to the setting.
Yeah, that's where I was, and then it just didn't go back where it needed to go. Okay.
I think it's the bottom right, Debbie, where it goes to start.
Right here.
Start number picker.
Okay, let's try it. Here we go. I'm not usually the one who does the claw, if you can tell. Israel Martinez, are you still here? You're a
Yeah.
lucky winner.
Let's see, are they still here?
Are you here, Israel?
Oh, is Israel Martinez? I think he's here.
He's actually our coworker too.
I'm right here.
Okay.
Yes, I am, ma'am.
He's
Woohoo,
okay.
Okay.
Israel,
You're our lucky
congratulations.
winner.
Thank you.
Okay, and number 2. Oh, look, number 2 is Juan Garcia. Juan, are you still here?
Yay! Yes, ma'am, I'm
Awesome.
here.
Awesome.
Thank you, Juan, and congratulations. I just
Thank
want
you.
to say thanks to everybody who joined. I want to show real quick, Debbie, I'm going to show them our calendar for the rest of the month. So here at the Instructional Technology Department, we have trainings that we do every Tuesday and Thursday. On the next one that we have going on is Vocabulary 101. That one's going to be on Tuesday. That one is going to be at 4:15, I believe, right, Debbie?
Correct.
Yeah, so that one's going to be at 4:15. We have Thursday unmute and recharges like what we just did right now, but sometimes they usually have an elementary focus to it. This one we did a little bit more secondary focus. We don't have on the calendar when the next secondary focused one is. I wanted to see how this one went. So maybe if the feedback is good and we had good participants, I'm thinking we can do one in the first week of October. So maybe if y'all know any presenters from your school who can do the same thing, show us some educational tools and let us know how they work. That would be great. And we can add them on to the next unmute and recharge for secondary. But I just want to say thank you so much for everybody being here, all our presenters for presenting, all the people, all our participants, and our winners for our door prizes.
Congrats. And even though it says elementary, sometimes it's stuff that, tools that you could still use at the middle school level.
Mhm.
So, join us. If you look on Yammer, I always post, sometimes we don't know the topics until the week before because our CITs in elementary are the ones that are doing it for us. And I post it in Yammer. So if it's a topic that interests you, look at Yammer and you can see, hey, I do want to, learn about that topic. Even though
Yeah.
the content will be most likely elementary, the tool could still be used, most of the time at secondary level.
Yeah, and that's perfectly said, Debbie. The content is the only thing that is different. So just because it says elementary, but you see 3 tools that you like,
Mhm.
and you want to get to know how those tools work, feel free to join. It's just, maybe the teaks are elementary, but the tool itself, you get to learn how to use. And so that's basically it. But I do plan on doing a secondary best practices first week of October. And so hopefully I can see some of you all again. And if you know any teachers that are interested in doing this for the first week of October, please let me know and we can arrange that.
And next Saturday, we're having a live event, which will be similar to this, but it'll be rotating to different tables. It's going to be held at LBJ Middle School. And we will have breakfast, tacos. It really it's only from 9 to 10. So you'll see 4 different sessions, but we do have high school through elementary. All levels will be presenting that day. So come and join us.
Righty. Well,
Okay.
that wraps it up. Thank you so much for being part of the first secondary unmute and recharge. And you all have an awesome day.
Thank you
I
so
want a
much.
chorizo and huevo. Okay.
We did order some of those.
I'm going to write it down right now, Ms. Galvan.
They were on our list to order, so that we will have that kind of taco for you, Nora.
Okay, thank you guys. I'm sorry I was late. We had some other meetings after meeting after meeting, guys.
Yeah.
But
It's been a busy year.
yes.
And multiple librarians have reached out to me, Ms. Galvan, from the middle schools as I got to know them. And they said, Marco, I'm so sorry. We all have PR meetings. And I'm like, thank you so much for promoting this. They're awesome. And I'm so glad that some of them were able to stay for a little bit. And so thank you for having awesome librarians all around, but they've been really nice to me at the middle school as I get to know them.
Excellent, Marco. And Marco, they are our librarians, okay? Yours and mine.
Okay.
Our district librarians, and they belong to all of us. So that's amazing. Thank you for those comments, Marco. That means a lot to us. Okay.
All right.
So we'll see you then.
Yeah,
Bye.
see you then. Bye, y'all.
And
Thank you so much for
again so
coming.
much to our amazing presenters today. Everybody was awesome. Loved it.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Did we stop the recording, Debbie?
Oh, no, I didn't, but I will do that right now.